As we all know, Magikarp is a terrible Pokemon. Even here in Elite Redux, it couldn't be saved. But that's okay, because Gyarados is a really solid Pokemon to use. It even has not one, but two Mega Evolutions, the physical attacking Gyarados X from the main games, and the special attacking Gyarados Y introduced in these games. But that apparently wasn't enough love for Magikarp. Now it's been given a brand new split evolution, Gyaradeath. And of course, they had to make it even and give it two Mega Evolutions as well. All three of these new Pokemon have unique abilities and new move pools to work with. But how strong are they, and are they better or worse than the original Gyarados forms? Well, if it wasn't completely obvious, the Pokemon they called Gyaradeath is no longer a Dragon Water type like Gyarados, but is a pure Ghost type. Pure Ghost typing is nice, especially with the new Eerie Fog weather helping ghosts by reducing all damage against them by 20%. Gyaradeath isn't super bulky with only 95 HP, 79 defense, and 100 special defense, so the damage reduction can be really helpful. It's a physical attacker like Gyarados, but only has 110 in attack versus 125. It does have greater speed though, being 96. Though with the help of Eerie Fog, its attack or speed could get a nice boost thanks to one of its choice abilities, Greater Spirit, which will raise its highest stat by +1 on entry in the fog, giving it more opportunities for knockouts on Pokemon normally faster than it, or on a Pokemon that would normally tank a hit from it. It's a great Pokemon for revenge kills, but the fog needs to be up so it can be a bit unreliable. If you choose to give it Moxie, it can still be great for revenge kills, as each knockout gives it a +1 in attack, letting its power snowball until it sweeps an entire team. If you would rather have it play more defensively or more supportive, you can give it the ability Scare, which lowers the opponent's special attack by 1 on entry. Just like Intimidate, it's better in doubles, and the fact that it has Levitate means it can avoid earthquakes that its partner Pokemon uses, giving it a third immunity. Gyaradeath having Mold Breaker is nice for making sure sturdy Pokemon or Mimikyu won't get in the way of a sweep. With Dragon Dance, it certainly has the setup to be really dangerous, and with the innate ability Vengeful Spirit, it can also give its stab ghost moves even more power. Combining Vengeance, which boosts all ghost moves by 20%, 50% when at 1/3 HP, and Haunted Spirit, which will curse any Pokemon that takes it out. Now Gyaradeath is a fine Pokemon for how early you can get one. It does its job well, but if you want to unlock its full potential, it's best to go with one of its Mega Evolutions. The first Mega we'll talk about is Mega Gyaradeath Y, the special attacking variant, which adds a second type, making it a Psychic Ghost. Defensively speaking, this doesn't help much, only upgrading its existing Dark and Ghost weaknesses to 4 times effective weakness. It's not a tank anyway, and instead focuses more on being a sweeper. With 140 in special attack and 136 in speed, it's looking to run through teams as quickly as possible. It can still hold its own though with 95 HP and 90 defense. Now I know you see this and immediately think a simple Sucker Punch or a Shadow Sneak will send it back to the Shadow Realm, but luckily it has a very simple solution for Pokemon trying to go around its speed. Psychic Surge, setting up Psychic Terrain for 8 turns on entry, boosting up Psychic moves, but more importantly shutting down all priority moves. As a bonus, the AI might see a kill with a priority move, not realizing you're going to Mega Evolve, and they'll end up wasting a turn, letting it rip off extremely powerful Eerie spells or Psychics. In the fog, the stab move Ominous Wind actually has its power doubled to 120, so that can be a really amazing move to run. If you aren't worried about priority moves or just don't want to prevent your own Pokemon from being able to use them, you could run Hubris instead, which is essentially a special form of Moxie. Another reason it's an excellent sweeper. And honestly, with Shadow Shield as an innate, it really has a good chance at living one of those priority moves, at least when at full health, so they don't completely destroy it. Mega Gyaradeath Y can actually get its health back to full with its new signature ability, Lifesteal. At the end of each turn, Lifesteal will take 10% of opponent's health and use it to heal itself. This includes double battles and can be a nice bit of chip damage, which really hurts Pokemon with sashes or with abilities that require full health. It doesn't affect your partner, and it also retains the Levitate ability so it can avoid ground type moves. It has great coverage options that can all be given stab thanks to its Mystic Power ability. Moves like Hydro Pump, Heat Wave, and Thunder. Mega Gyaradeath Y is an incredible special sweeper and an improvement on any team it's on. Comparing it to Mega Gyarados Y, it's very similar in some ways, like having Mystic Power to help with its coverage. It has slightly lower special attack and speed, but it having 140 in special defense and Prism Scales, which reduces special damage when used against it by 30%, it's pretty much unkillable versus special attackers. They're both great, but I think you can give Mega Gyaradeath Y a slight advantage. However, I wouldn't call it the best Gyaradeath has to offer. Mega Gyaradeath X is the physical attacking variant and adds a secondary typing of fire. While this adds 2 more weaknesses in water and rock, it's more than worth it as it goes from 2 resistances to 7. Its stat spread is very good. 140 in attack paired with 106 in speed makes it a solid attacker. 120 special defense and 106 defense makes it pretty tanky as well, especially with all of its resistances. Unlike Gyaradeath Y, which wastes a decent amount of stats on attack, Gyaradeath X uses way less on special attack, and it only gets better with its abilities. Now, the way abilities work with Megas that have multiple choice abilities is dependent on the base form, so giving the base form Scare will give Mega Gyaradeath X the ability Fire Scales. This happens to be a great combination since Fire Scales halves the special damage against it, and if it's Mega Evolved on that turn, the Pokemon against it will have -1 special attack. And with its defenses, it becomes extremely difficult to get rid of while it can start spamming Dragon Dances. This is a Pokemon you absolutely don't want hanging around, especially with its broken signature innate ability. Funeral Pyre will deal 1/4 of any non-ghost or dark-type Pokemon's health after each turn. This is beyond absurd. Pokemon literally can't be on the field for longer than 4 turns with this Pokemon on the field, including double battles. With its solid bulk, Protect, and Substitute, removing it quickly can be extremely challenging. But remember, it's not just a Pokemon that stays around. It can deal serious damage. If you give it Infernal Rage, all of its Fire-type moves will be boosted by 35%. 120 base power Pyro Ball and Fire Fangs are its 2 best options. If you're bringing it to a Fog team, you can choose Ethereal Rush, giving it a 50% boost in speed in the Fog, letting you invest much more into its attack. It's paired with Gyaradeath's Greater Spirit ability, so again, they synchronize very well. Like all the other forms, it gets Levitate, but with Fire being weak to ground, it has much higher value on this one. Side note, Levitate boosts flying moves by 25%, and Bounce is not only a really strong flying move it gets, but it also takes 2 turns, so while it's in the air, Funeral Pyre takes 1/4 of the opponent's health. It's insane. And after all that, it has a decent recovery option because Soul Eater gives it back 1/4 of its HP when it gets a knockout. So don't be afraid of setting up with it because it can just get back what it lost. Compared to Mega Gyarados X, again they're very similar in power. Gyarados X has a higher attack and hyper aggressive, but it doesn't have as much speed. Mega Gyaradeath X is clearly superior and is one of the best new Mega evolutions I've seen so far. So although Magikarp is still weak, it has some amazing evolutions and Mega forms that can be used. If I could only pick one, I'd have to go with Mega Gyaradeath X. But you really can't go wrong whichever one you choose. And in permanent Mega mode, you can have all 6 at once. But you let me know which of these is your favorite and which one you think is the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Shout out to our members, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.